I'm attorney Nick Alcock. I'd like to speak a little bit about license suspensions and what happens when you get pulled over for a DUI. If you do get pulled over for a DUI and you submit to a breath test, it's very likely that the police officer right off the bat is going to take your license. He's going to give you an admin per se form if you're over the legal limit. If you're over a .08, you'll get a piece of paper that will be your temporary driver's license for 15 days. And this piece of paper is good as your license, but after 15 days, if you don't do anything, your license is going to be suspended. And typically in a DUI, it's going to be suspended for 30 days completely, and then 60 days afterwards, you're eligible for a restricted license to and from school. So you can't be driving at 2 o'clock in the morning to a bar. You're going to be arrested for driving on a suspended license if you get pulled over and you have that restricted permit. One thing that our office does, and we do it free of charge in every DUI case, is we will do an MVD hearing for you. So if you come into our office, we will fire off the paperwork. As long as you come in within 15 days of your arrest, we'll fire off that paperwork to ask for an MVD hearing. You have two separate cases with a DUI. You've got a criminal case and you've got the civil case for your license. The two are totally separate because you could potentially have your license suspended even if you're never convicted of a DUI. So just be aware of that fact that if you don't request that hearing in 15 days, your license automatically gets suspended and you could be in trouble if you get pulled over on a suspended license. The MVD hearing is a rather informal affair. It is in front of a judge, but it's really just in an office building. And the MVD hearing is looking at a number of things. If it is a case where you blew into a machine or you submitted to blood, they're going to be asking questions such as, were you driving? Had you consumed alcohol? And was your blood alcohol level or breath alcohol level over a .08 within 2 hours of driving? It's very narrow. And they're just looking to make sure the machines were working accurately, that there wasn't a problem with the machines. They're going to be looking to see whether or not there is evidence that you were in fact impaired and that there was evidence that you had this alcohol in your system and that you were over the legal limit. You actually they don't have to prove that you were impaired though. They just have to prove that alcohol was in your system and that you were over the legal limit. Now let's say that you refuse a test and you don't blow into a machine, you don't give blood. Then your license can be suspended for a period of 1 year. Then the question comes down to, were you offered the test? Did you voluntarily refuse the test? Were the circumstances made very clear to you? And was your failure to submit to the test basically your own fault? And if they prove that you knew that you had to take the test and you didn't, then they're going to suspend your license for a year. Gratefully, they're going to be changing the rules with regards to the amount of suspension that people will get for refusals, and they're also changing the rules and regulations for DUI license suspensions. In general, if you've just been pulled over for a DUI, ask for an MVD hearing. It doesn't cost anything. You just fill out the back of that form, mail it in, or call my office at 602-989-5000, and we would be very happy to sit down with you and tell you what you need to do. We know that there's a lot of confusion about licenses. There's a lot of confusions about what will happen to you if you get pulled over for a DUI and you submit to a test. We're happy to really walk you through the system and make you feel a little bit more comfortable. So again, our number 602-989-5000. I'm Nick Alcock, the owner of Alcock & Associates, and thanks so much.